Alright guys, in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about theft and crime in the Philippines. How common is it? Are there steps you can take to prevent it? Stick around. Alright guys, so I can actually say in over 7 years in the Philippines, I have never been a victim to any crime. I have never had anything stolen from me. I've never had any kind of violent crime, no kind of stick up, nobody break into my house, nothing like that. Now, I think a lot of that has to do with just not giving any opportunities for that. There are measures that you can take to prevent it and to deter it, and I think that has helped as well. And I'm going to kind of go through this, but one is, you know, like I've lived in a condo most of my time here in the Philippines. So with that, you got the security. They have to check in and they got to make a call up to you for permission for them to go up. Things like for if I had a guest in my condo, maybe it's a girl I'm dating, maybe I don't really know her that well, but maybe we're out for the second time and we're doing a Netflix night. You know, maybe you jump in the shower and you come out and maybe she's taking some money. And that leads me to a guy I knew who was dating a girl. She ended up becoming his girlfriend. And he used to keep money in like a security box, and he put it, there was like the headboard of his bed. One of the panels came out and you could put the money box inside the panel. So what he would do is store his extra money. Like I've said, I've told people this before, it's a good idea to keep maybe 1 or 2 months of expenses, monthly expenses in cash in your condo or apartment, wherever, just in case, you know, there's a typhoon or whatever. So anyway, I don't know, she somehow spotted or saw where he had put some money, and I guess he would jump in the shower and she started to take a couple thousand at a pop. And she wasn't always spending the night. Sometimes she'd spend 3 nights there and then go home for a day or two. Well, he started to notice, I guess he started to count his money one day, and he's like, wait a second, I'm pretty sure I had like 50,000. Now there's only like 45. He couldn't for the life of him figure out what happened. Did he just make a mistake with the counting or putting money in there? Did he take money out and he forgot? He just couldn't remember. And so he experimented. He put, I can't remember the number. I'm just kind of making up a number, but he put in back in exactly like 50,000. And I guess he figured out that while he was taking a shower, his girlfriend must be taking the money. So he put in the 50,000, took a shower, and when she went to go take a shower or something, he went and counted the money. And sure enough, you know, like it was like 48. And so he figured out pretty quickly it was her, confronted her, and she admitted it and made up some kind of story about why she needed the money. And you know, for me, I would tell you that relationship would be done immediately. And this guy ended up staying with her and said, not only staying with her, but said, well, you know, if I give you a monthly allowance, maybe that'll solve everything. So he started to give her a monthly allowance, and guess what? I think a month went by, everything was fine, no more money stolen. After about a month, same thing started happening again. And guess what? Confronted her, she admitted she needed some extra money. He gave her extra money, still stayed with her. And I lost touch. I don't even know what happened, but the last I saw, he was still with the girl. And she had stolen from him several times. So, are there things you can do to deter theft? Yes. This is an example. For example, you can get like a lockbox, but then again, somebody could just take the whole entire lockbox. Now, what I do is I've always traveled with one of these security bags. You can find them on my website, on my Geo Travel Essentials. There's a link in the description, pinned comment. But you can lock this to like the bedpost or something, and there's nothing they can't really do. Even they can't cut open through the wire meshing. So there's something you could do, especially if you're just traveling out here and you're going to stay in like a hotel. Maybe you have a visitor. Another thing is when I go out, I carry one of these small front pocket wallets, and just I carry one ID and one credit card. It's got this little button, you push it, cards come out, you know, lock back in. That's on my website as well. Those are a couple things I carry. I only carry one card, one ID, don't carry your passport and all this kind of stuff. I've said this many times, so I won't make a whole video about this, but the other times I've known of theft were festivals. I've had two friends. One was in Sinulog in Cebu City. The other one was in Bacolod at the Mascara Festival. Crowds of people, so crowded you got to squeeze through to get by. These type of events, you just don't even carry your wallet, you just carry some cash, and maybe you put your hand in your pocket, or maybe you put the money you know, under the case of your phone, and you hold your phone in your hand. Well, both times the gentlemen that I knew at the festivals put the phone in their pocket, and guess what? It was lifted from them. And so when you get crowds of people like these big festivals, pickpockets from around the Philippines will come and go to these festivals just to be able to lift things. It's not only happening to us foreigners, it's happening to Filipinos. And I can't say that this is any worse than the West. You know, pickpockets and somebody stealing something out of your apartment, maybe a girl you don't know. It could just as easily happen in the US as well, or Australia, or wherever. But over 7 years, I've never been a victim of any type of crime. Again, I think I've done enough measures to deter it. So the best thing is really don't give any opportunities for it to happen. I have not really had any, I've never had any break-ins. Now you can see like this complex that I live in, I mean, you can see it's all walled in. And if you notice at the top of the wall there are broken pieces of glass embedded into the top of the wall. That's kind of a common thing. And you get like a complex like here, it is walled in. He's got security cameras, the whole thing. That's kind of why I like a condo, and that's one reason I even chose this place to live. I liked the security measures. So yeah, and then there's even lights that turn on if somebody motion sensors at night, I guess. So these are all good things to look for. You don't want to just move into a place that doesn't have any of these measures. A lot of the houses in the Philippines here, you'll notice with bars on the window, gates that lock so they can't get in, and then you'll see those broken pieces of bottles and glass embedded into the top of the walls. That would tear you up pretty good. So again, things that deter thieves. But as far as violent crime, somebody being held up, I've never heard of any friend or even foreigner that has traveled out here that has had that happen. In the US, that's happened. I've known people who, I had a friend who was carjacked. So I think it's almost more prevalent in some Western countries, to be honest. But if you give them an opportunity, then crime can happen and will happen here. It's just inevitable. Now, I've had a friend, back to the story, I've had a friend who has had things stolen in the front of his house. Again, I don't think it's like, maybe it's gated or not, but maybe they jumped over or something, but things that were just left outside, they have stolen. So those kind of things can happen, so you don't want to keep a bunch of stuff outside. So I would love to hear from you guys. Has anything happened on your vacation? Has anybody been a victim of any crime? Has anybody had anything stolen, been held up? Anything like that? Had a girl steal something from their room? I've known a few guys that have told me about that happening. And these security bags, especially if you're just on a vacation and not living here, these work great. There's a variety of different ones. You don't have to get the backpack. You can get the day packs and the fanny packs and all that. Again, check out my website for the ones I highly recommend, things that I personally use. There has been times that I've left my phone, I left my wallet, left my sunglasses, my hat, various items maybe like on the table at a restaurant or On my motorbike, I've left the keys in it by accident. You know, I put it in the box and I forgot my keys or forgot in the ignition, and never have had it stolen. People have always like returned it. I've even had where I've left a couple thousand pesos in my pocket, and when I took it to the laundry place, guess what? They knocked on my door, gave me my laundry, and guess what was in the in the plastic? You know, they have everything all folded nicely, and they had the 2,000 pesos like sitting on the top of the laundry. They returned it. Returned my nice sunglasses, expensive sunglasses. Returned my hat, returned my phone multiple times. Like, I've left my phone in the phone holder on my motorbike, and I come back and the parking attendant hands me my phone or my keys. You know, I've done that multiple times, so I really try to be careful with that now. That is a good reason. If you do have a motorbike, you always want to park where there is a parking attendant, a guy who's taking care of the bikes, moving them around, things like that. So anyway, let me know your good and bad experiences here in the Philippines. For me, it's been 100% positive. I have nothing to complain about, really, nothing. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Check out my accompanying website. I have just released a new article on all my favorite hotels and resorts that I've personally stayed at that I highly recommend. So if you're coming out to the Philippines, certain islands and cities, I've traveled around quite a bit, and this might help you with the process of finding a good hotel, because there are some bad ones too. So you can check that out on my main page of my website. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see everyone next time.